many complexities to it. Yogananda said that everyone in the world is motivated by the same basic motivation, and that's that everyone wants to be happy and to avoid pain.
Correct.
And at first, we associate being happy and avoiding pain with physical things, with having more money, having more possessions, having greater power over others, and so on. But gradually, we begin to refine our thinking because we understand that simply because a person is rich, that doesn't mean that he's happy. Therefore, being rich does not convey happiness. Simply because a person is powerful, that doesn't make him happier either. And so right now, those, one might say, materialistic values are still very active in the world consciousness, and they overlay themselves over the practice of meditation or the attempt to find yoga. So instead of, for most teachers, for most yoga studios, one might say, there's very little talk about how yoga postures can lead one to higher awareness or union with God. It's become more physical, more of a business. But like a teenager, gradually you grow out of the early stages of how you do things into more refined stages. And even in my lifetime, I've seen a huge shift from it being only physical into people doing it, starting it with physical things, starting it as a business, and then realizing, hey, there's something a lot more in this than I have been experiencing. Let me look at the deeper aspects of it. How does it change my consciousness?
But Harry, as you mentioned, yoga and meditation came from India, and our guru, Paramahansa Yogananda, author of Autobiography of a Yogi, was sent by his master to the West in 1920 to build a bridge of consciousness from the East, particularly to America in the West. And this was part of his mission. And Yogananda predicted that in the future, India and America would be joined together spiritually, in the sense that America's practical know-how and efficiency and India's spiritual insight and depth would help each other to bring the whole planet forward.
Wonderful.
So I think Jyotish and I spend a lot of time every year teaching in India, 3 or 4 months. We'll be going back again in August. We usually are there August through December every year. And we love teaching in India, but we also see how the Indians need the practical efficiency, just as Yogananda predicted, and the Westerners need a more spiritualized consciousness. And if these can both, the higher octave of both of these can be brought together, you can see the potential for a very, very uplifted and balanced world. So I think, again, there's so much hope for the future, and every nationality, every culture has its higher and lower octave. Some are more aggressive, some are more philosophical, some are more materialistic, but underneath it all, we are a unified soul, that we are sparks of the divine consciousness. And so underneath the language, the culture, the religion, there's really just one reality of which we are all a part.
Wonderful. And I think you are quite blessed, that you are carrying forward the tradition, of great yogis, who have brought this Indian spiritual culture back home to US, and you have got a global following. And I'm today feeling very much, honored that Carry On Harry show has become, a part of this movement by, bringing you on my show and, spreading up this knowledge, the message that you hold with Ananda Sangh, which is worldwide, helping people to, raise their consciousness and also learn more about the Indian traditional yoga as well as meditation. Any message that you would love to share with the listeners before we end today's talks with you?
I would say to realize that you can, by your own choice, be happy. And just a little practice of meditation will get you in touch with deeper aspects of your own self, make you happier, more effective, more successful, and just make life overall easier.
And I would add, learn from good sources. So go to, you have a wonderful Ananda Singapore Teaching Center. I'll just share the address. It's on Om Vedic Center on Tessasan Road. So we know the leader there. He's a wonderful man, third generation Singaporean, and you'll be very well instructed there. Jyotish and I also have a blog, a free weekly blog called Touch of Light, and we have followers from all over the world. So again, if you go to ananda.org, you can subscribe to that blog. Of course, it's free. And then, more important than any of these, find a way that in your own life that you can say, I want to expand my own consciousness, however that works for you. But a wise teacher once said, life is about growth. You're either moving forward or you're moving backward, but there's no treading water in the middle. So if you feel like you're kind of in a stagnant place in your life, look for something that through which you can expand your awareness, whether it's meditation, hatha yoga, service to others, study, taking up creative arts, whatever it might be. But the soul has an innate